on after a chase through town, the law enforcement search that lasted hours, and why police are still concerned.
Plus, the divided debate over Proposition A in Port Arthur. Why not everyone is on the board with the push to revive the city.
And we are hearing from more local school districts and the latest TEA accountability ratings. One charter school's plan for improvement. 12 News Daybreak starts now.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. It's 7:01. Let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. Here's a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Sky Cam network. We got some pretty colors back there in the sky, but it looks like they're covered up by a bit of clouds. Jeff, how's it looking out there today?
Nice and warm. Temperatures once again into the middle 70s for this morning. 75 right now in Silsbee. Also Kirbyville, Jasper showing that same temperature. 74 in Orange, 73 in Beaumont, and 76 right now in Port Arthur. Here's radar. It's been pretty quiet this morning. We've seen a couple isolated showers towards Newton County, just a little bit of a lone shower or sprinkle up in the northwestern corner of Tyler County. We'll zoom in a little bit and you can see that rain real close to Newton and just south of there. So a couple of heavy downpours here, but this is all we have on radar this morning. We are expecting rain coverages to increase today up to about 60%. So be aware of that, especially as we head towards middle to late part of the afternoon. We'll see those rain showers and thunderstorms kind of overspread the area. Not expecting any severe weather or anything like that today, just some general rain and scattered showers and thunderstorms like we've been seeing. Temperatures start on the 70s. We'll be around 80 at 9, 90 at noon, and then lower 90s before the rain starts to kick in for today. Looks like rain chances going down for the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up in weather.
Thanks, Jeff. Developing in Beaumont this morning, 2 people are still on the run after a chase through town yesterday. Jefferson County deputies and Beaumont police were still patrolling last night near Simpson Street and Blossom Drive. They say a man and woman ended up in the area after leading police on a chase. Investigators were staged outside a home for hours where they believed the suspects were hiding out. According to the sheriff's office, ultimately no one was inside. They also searched other homes nearby.
Yeah, this all started close to about 1 p.m. there yesterday when, according to investigators, a deputy tried to make a stop for that suspect driving erratically on I-10 near Smith Road. The car, it was later spotted after the suspect crashed into a construction zone near Cardinal Drive and I-10. Now, witnesses, they told deputies that a man dressed in all black, he got out of that car with a gun. A woman in a black shirt and blue jeans, she was also with him. Deputies, they had to use a K-9 unit to track the suspects to the home that they searched. The Captain Crystal Holmes, captain with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, says that it wasn't the chase that prompted the massive law enforcement response. It was the fact that a gun was involved that caused them to go out there in so much force.
At that point, it becomes not an officer safety issue, but also a public safety issue, and we have to make sure we do everything that we can to locate those individuals.
BPD and DPS troopers, they are helping to find the suspects, and if you see anything suspicious or if you know who they might be sure to call 911.
Beaumont police arrested 2 people accused in a fraud scheme Tuesday after setting up a sting. They said the suspects told the victim that he'd receive a $50,000 refund by a mistake and coerced him into returning the money. The victim had reportedly already given them $20,000 and was about to give them an additional $30,000 in person. Tuesday afternoon, police set up surveillance at the victim's home on Brentwood Drive. When the suspects arrived, they were arrested. Police say one of them had meth on him. Both now face felony theft charges.
12 News is your election headquarters. Port Arthur voters are going to have a big decision come November. There's going to be a proposal on the ballot that would allow the city to use its EDC money on city projects. One city leader is raising concern, however, saying that the proposition doesn't mention a timeline or a cost for those projects. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman explains.
I've been here for 70 years, and I have never seen Port Arthur to go down like this.
Change can't come soon enough for residents like Betty Guillory. It's a sentiment shared by Port Arthur's mayor, Charlotte Moses.
And we want to make sure that you can live, play, enjoy, in your city.
Last month, council members voted 5-1 to pass Proposition 8.
Ordinance passes.
It would allow the city to use money from the Economic Development Corporation, money the city already collects through sales taxes. The proposal would siphon that money to 5 projects: recreation or community facilities, affordable housing, water supply facilities, and water conservation programs, new or expanded business enterprises that create or retain primary jobs, sports venues, and related infrastructure. Voters would just approve the moving of funds. No timeline or price is set yet.
It gives us a broader works area to be able to expand the work of our EDC.
The proposition will be a huge decision for voters come November, but not everyone on City Council is on board with how it's being presented.
There's no limit as to how long you want to do this. There's no limit saying how much money you want to invest in these categories.
District 4 Councilman Harold Doucette Sr. was the only member to vote no on the proposition.
If you want to go to the voters so that you could do those specific categories without coming back to them, you have to have a limit.
It was addressed about the specifics with having to be specific and putting dollars. We didn't have to do that.
Doucette fears the money could be mishandled.
We'll just do projects. Whatever we decide to do, let's do it. We got money.
Moses says safeguards will ensure the money is going to the right place.
The oversight from the lawyers, the oversight from the board.
Meanwhile, Guillory says she's ready to vote yes if it means growth for Port Arthur.
Whatever it costs, we need to try to get together and get some money to try to, to fix things.
All right, transitioning to the latest in Southeast Texas TEA accountability ratings. We're hearing from the superintendent of Toccoa Academy after the charter school received a low state ranking. Toccoa went from an A in 2023 to an F in 2025. To get that score back up, the superintendent says they've hired 8 new teachers and 3 interventionists. Teachers also went through a program to learn about the new Bluebonnet curriculum approved by the Texas Board of Education in November. Proponents say it better aligns with the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, which students and districts are graded on.
And making sure the students understand the science behind the reading of the STAR test is very important. It's not like any other test, which is the reason why we went to Bluebonnet, because the Bluebonnet is more worded, the vocabulary is more rigorous, similar to the STAR test.
She says she and the deputy superintendent will be on the campuses daily to support students and teachers.
Meanwhile, Hampshire Fannett ISD, they jumped up from a C to a B in their state ratings. Assistant Superintendent Marla Gilmore says that it took a team effort.
Sharing instructional strategies with one another and just getting in and working side by side. And at the heart of it is collaboration. And that's the culture that we have here. These are not my kids, these are our kids.
District leaders say they set clear goals, watched the data, and worked with professionals to tighten instruction. The district says that it's going to keep pushing until they reach an A.
In other news, Lamar University welcomed new students yesterday during its WOW convocation at the Montaigne Center. They heard words of welcome from University President Dr. Jaime Taylor and other campus leaders. They also got to take a class photo on the football field. We hope all Lamar students, freshmen or otherwise, have a great year.
And a reminder, 12 News is going to start handing out our Golden Apple Awards again soon, so we need you to send in your nominations. That can be a teacher or anyone in the field of education. Be sure to nominate someone at 12newsnow.com/goldenapple.
In your health news, while some kids don't want to get out of bed for school in the morning, skipping class regularly could mean something more. Mandy Gather has more on signs of emotional distress in students.
It isn't always easy getting out of the door for school, and while experts say it's normal for a student to not want to head to class every now and again, when it becomes a pattern, there may be a problem.
Maybe it's that they're not fitting in at school, they're experiencing bullying or just nervous about socializing.
It may be a sign of a mental health concern like anxiety or depression. It may also be that they have a learning disability that hasn't been diagnosed yet.
Pediatric psychologist Ariana Howitt with Nationwide Children's Hospital says emotional distress may not look the same in children as it does adults. Warning signs may include behavior changes, tantrums, irritability, and anger. There may also be physical symptoms like stomach aches, headaches, and nausea, which could also signal a mental health concern like anxiety.
As parents, we want to often shield our kids from those difficult emotions. What happens though is if we let a child avoid, stay home from school, it actually makes the anxiety grow.
Instead, Howitt encourages parents to sit down with the child and get to the root of the problem. Validate what they're feeling, let them know you understand, then work together to problem solve.
If a child is feeling nervous about, let's say, socializing with others, then we practice those social skills at home. We practice them out in different environments so that when they do them at school, they feel more confident.
Coming up next, travelers taking legal action against two major airlines. Why Delta and United are facing lawsuits over those so-called window seats. Plus, a not-so-smooth criminal flies a drone carrying drugs right into someone's yard. How he tried to get them back. In your trending news ahead, your time is now 7:11.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking like, oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Money Matters, sponsored by Gulf Credit Union.
United and Delta Airlines are being sued by passengers who claim that they paid extra for window seats that they didn't get. The complaints say that the planes have these blank walls instead of windows at certain seats, and passengers say that Delta and United don't flag those seats even when they are charging them hundreds of dollars extra for them. The lawsuits seek millions in damages. And in other news, if you are getting those texts about a missed delivery or a toll payment, it's going to be a scam probably. Consumer Reports explains how you can avoid becoming a victim.
Chances are you've received this text or something similar insisting your package delivery is delayed. Click here to update your preference, or the driver was unable to deliver. Click here to reschedule. These messages are designed to sound urgent, pressuring you to act fast, but that urgency, it's often the first red flag of a scam.
Scammers are good. At first glance, a text will look like it comes from a reliable source and it requires your immediate attention. But not so fast.
Scammers aren't stopping at package delivery. They're also impersonating toll collection agencies and sending text messages demanding immediate payment to avoid a late fee. According to the Better Business Bureau's Scam Tracker, this is one of the fastest growing scams hitting phones right now.
For some people who don't deal with tolls all the time, to see that text message, they may think, oh, I might have gone through a toll. I'm just going to pay it. It's only $12. But then they have your credit card information.
There's usually a link where you're asked to supply personal information, such as your address or credit card details. Tapping or clicking the link can even install malware on your device.
So how can you confirm it's a scam? If you're not waiting for a package or haven't recently driven on a toll road, just ignore them. Inspect the sender. Scammers often use web addresses or email accounts that look almost real, but there are red flags to look out for. For example, the Postal Service won't message you from a Gmail address. Never click on links or download files from an unexpected text or email message. Instead, go directly to the source to see if there is a problem. For instance, call customer service at the toll road or check the Postal Inspection website for examples of delivery scams. Don't engage with a scammer if you know it's a phony text. Instead, block the number and delete the message. That might prevent these scammers from contacting you again.
(7:16) on this Thursday morning. Sun is up and getting ready to go here for this morning. Here's the view from Lake Charles as we look down some of the waterways there over in southwest Louisiana on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Temperature-wise, we're in the middle 70s. 73 we've been holding there for the last couple hours in Beaumont. We've been holding about 74 in Orange. Warm, a little warmer now in Port Arthur at 76. Still at 75 though in Silsbee, Kirbyville, and also Jasper. We have a front to our north that's working its way southward very slowly, and out ahead of it we're seeing spotty showers right now. As we get into the heat of the afternoon, that becomes a little bit more in the way of widespread showers and thunderstorms. We'll go 60% coverage for today. Right now, the only rain we have is this batch of scattered rain here in Newton County. Not quite over towards Kirbyville, which is kind of hanging the county line there, but from down towards Call all the way up towards Newton and right along, looks like 190, you'll run into a little rain if you're driving from Jasper, maybe heading over into Mauriceville or something like that. But just a little cluster here, some showers. That's all we have right now. Not expecting a whole lot this morning. I think the bulk of the rain is going to be coming later on this afternoon. This morning we climbed through the 80s. We'll get up into the lower 90s this afternoon, and you can see scattered showers and thunderstorms developing, probably lasting into the evening and then dying down. Overnight, we're not expecting much, but maybe a couple of showers, and then tomorrow, rain chances come down a little bit to around 40%. Here's Hurricane Aaron. Track continues to take it out into the open Atlantic. Right now, winds are at 105, and it's moving to the northeast at 17, so away from the U.S. Have a couple of things out in the Atlantic we're looking at right now. One here, it's about a 40% chance of development. This one's kind of a question mark where it's going to go if it even holds together. And then this one's a 70% chance of development, and that should stay east of the U.S. Also, this just popped up now, and it looks like a low chance of this, and it looks like they have that going off towards the east, so not headed in our direction. All right, our forecast, 60% coverage of rain, mostly cloudy, and temperatures in the lower 90s for today. We'll be back into the lower 70s for tonight, partly cloudy skies, a small chance for an isolated shower overnight. And look at the rain chances coming down, 40% on Friday, 20% on Saturday. That's just isolated showers. Sunday, Monday, we'll go with a dry forecast with temperatures into the middle 90s. By Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll put rain back into the forecast. But it's good to see at least a couple of days there with 0 as far as rain chances.
Get it out of here.
Safe for a few days.
Yeah, not looking too bad for the weekend. If you have any outdoor plans, just be prepared for the heat. We'll be in the middle 90s.
Yeah.
Got some plans.
Okay.
Good.
Don't sweat too much. All right, thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time. To get the latest on the weather, you can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. And we're going to get to trending news here in just a moment, as it is now 7:19. Here we go, trending news. And taking out the trash, it's usually one of the easiest part of closing up a restaurant shift. It can be.
Yeah, but that wasn't the case for one Corpus Christi employee whose video has now gone viral. This wasn't a regular bag of trash. It was a giant bag of melted cheese. Right when she was about to toss it, the bag gave out and boom! That's just nasty. Cheese everywhere, including right on her phone. It wasn't hot, but it did give off full Nickelodeon slime vibes, and some are even calling it the cheese apocalypse. Imagine trying to get all that cheese off your phone.
So gross. So gross. I once, when I worked at Chili's, I once helped the fry cook take out the trash, and it was so heavy. We dropped it, got covered in it. It was gross, y'all. It was gross.
And you know you already could be upset with your workday depending on people's attitudes and stuff, and now, yeah, wow.
Not a good day at work.
Well, criminals don't always make the best decisions, but one Florida man is taking the cake this morning.
Yeah, he was arrested after deputies say that he crashed his drug-carrying drone into a Tampa yard. Take a look.
Wait, where's this drone at the moment? It showed me it was in the backyard, but I tried to knock.
You know we can't just be going in people's backyards trying to look for shit.
I know, that's why I knocked.
He should have tried putting on an Amazon shirt real quick and said he was with, a delivery service for real. Authorities say that Jason Brooks, he was caught on surveillance video Tuesday asking the homeowners to get the drone back. They called 911 instead and turned over the drone and several bags of drugs.
Funny thing,
deputies.
He went back for it. I kind of would have just
Not my
took
drugs.
my L.
Not
Yeah,
my drugs.
go home, go sleep, something. He gonna go ask for it.
Can you throw me a little bag of stuff? All right, being a celebrity look-alike, it can have its perks, but one man, he took advantage of the situation.
Yeah, we're talking about a Justin Bieber impersonator. He racked up nearly $10,000 in a bar at a Las Vegas nightclub. Dylan, a dead ringer for Bieber, jumped on stage during DJ Griffin's set to belt out singing Sorry Like a Pro, with the crowd completely fooled. Staff eventually caught on and kicked him out, but not before Dylan snapped selfies, roamed the club with his security team, and went viral. Griffin dubbed the prank Bieber Gate, leaving everyone asking, did that really just happen? I want to hear how he sounds.
Yeah.
Like,
no
you
doubt.
know, could he sing? And
I see just quick little clips of him there. He had his head buzz and all that. I wouldn't know if it was Justin Bieber in person, so.
yeah, you know, people been probably in Vegas been drinking, so they not in their right mind. They just kicking.
Bieber.
Kicking it.
It's Bieber.
Right. All right, taking a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Skycam network, Jeff will be back with your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. Folks in Newton County will soon have designated ambulance coverage.
Yeah, the ESD6 board has approved a contract proposal with the Allegiance Mobile Health. That's the same provider that serves Jasper County. Back in May, voters, they approved a 2% sales and use tax to make this happen. Board President Charles Duckworth says the goal is to have ambulances rolling by January 1st.
The city of Beaumont is blessing the 3 new medical units today at the Fire Museum. The event will also recognize the first responders who serve our community with dedication and care. The ceremony begins at 3 p.m. at the museum on Walnut Street.
At the bus stop this morning, it looks pretty dry out there. We only had that one little batch of rain we were showing you earlier up in Newton County. Just warm and humid, 75 to get out the door, and then warm and humid at recess with temperatures near 90. As we head into the afternoon, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms with temperatures into the lower 90s. So I would grab an umbrella and put it in the backpack if you can for today. Our coastal marine forecast for your Thursday: north winds at 5 to 10 knots. Seas about a foot for today. Mostly smooth on the inland lakes and bays, but we will be seeing some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Our high tides, we had one earlier at 4:29, another one at 1:07 for later on this afternoon. Our sunrise, we passed that not quite an hour ago at 6:47. Our sun sets at about 7:50. Right now at Texas Point, we're seeing north winds at 9 to 12. Our water temperature there into the Gulf sitting close to 90. There's that one batch of rain I was talking about just south of Newton in Newton County, and it's drifting off towards the east. Everyone else looking dry. Expect a 60% coverage of rain today.
Well, coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, the 2 suspects still in the run in Beaumont after a chase through the city. The law enforcement search that lasted hours and why police are still concerned.
Plus, heartbroken parents demand change after 27 young campers, including a Beaumont native, were killed in the Hill Country flood. The testimony state lawmakers heard yesterday.
And the Newton County Sheriff's Office details how a new piece of tech will be crucial for difficult searches, wildfires, and more.
7:27 right now. We'll be back with more news and weather.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. The time now is 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. A Jefferson County grand jury has indicted a Beaumont man for assaulting 2 children. Mark King is facing 3 charges of aggravated sexual assault of a child. According to a probable cause affidavit, the children were assaulted twice between 2018 and 2019.
And Port Arthur police, they arrested a man Tuesday night after they say that he assaulted an elderly woman back in May. They say that Avery DeSales hit a 66-year-old woman in the back of the head outside the Crystal Creek apartments. The victim was nearly knocked out, but luckily their walker stopped them from hitting the ground. DeSales is charged with injury to an elderly person.
Jasper County deputies responded to a trespassing call Tuesday night at the Melham Hunting Club on County Road 250. There they spotted a car stuck in mud and an ATV partially hidden in the woods. Deputies say Alexander Thornton and Jessica Lewis admitted to stealing the ATV to pull their car out. They were arrested for criminal trespassing. All right, let's take a live look outside now from our Roofing 911 Sky Cam network. Looking at downtown Beaumont, meteorologist Jeff Gerber is standing by. It is the 7:30 hour. Jeff, turn me up.
Bring that energy, Jeff.
Let's go.
Temperatures out there into the middle 70s right now. 75 in Kirbyville and Silsbee, 73 in Jasper, 74 Beaumont Orange, and 76 in Port Arthur. Outside, as we just showed you, we have partly mostly cloudy skies, but we are seeing a little breaks in the overcast here and there on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. We'll take a look from our 12 News studio as we look north, and you see some partly to mostly cloudy skies. That camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. There is one batch of rain, and it's sitting right over central Newton County. We'll zoom into that. You can see it's just south of Newton. A little bit of a thunderstorm, it looks like, right on the Sabine River there, south and west of Mauriceville, and some more rain looks like back towards the Call area. I think we'll stay pretty dry this morning. There might be a few isolated showers like that, but we'll see our best chance of rain later on this afternoon, as we'll see rain coverages get up to about 60% with highs today in the lower 90s.
And developing in Beaumont this morning, 2 people still on the run after a chase through town yesterday. Jefferson County deputies and Beaumont police, they were still patrolling last night near Simpson Street and Blossom Drive. They say a man and a woman, they ended up in that area after leading them on a chase. Investigators, they were staged outside of a home for hours where they believed that those suspects were hiding out, but according to the sheriff's office, ultimately no one was inside. They also searched other homes nearby.
Now, this all started close to 1 p.m. yesterday when, according to investigators, a deputy tried to stop the suspect for driving erratically on I-10 near Smith Road. The car was later spotted after the suspect crashed it into a construction zone near Cardinal Drive and I-10. Witnesses told deputies a man dressed in all black got out of the car with a gun. A woman in a black shirt and blue jeans was with him. Deputies used a K-9 to track the suspects to the home they searched. Captain Crystal Holmes says it wasn't the chase that prompted the massive law enforcement response. The suspect was armed was their biggest concern.
At that point, it becomes not an officer safety issue, but also a public safety issue, and we have to make sure we do everything that we can to locate those individuals.
BPD and DPS troopers are helping find the suspects. If you see anything suspicious or know who they might be, call 911.
And now to some emotional testimony from parents who lost their children in the 4th of July floods in the Texas Hill Country. A coalition of parents, they gathered in Austin yesterday to speak to the Senate Select Committee. They shared stories, pictures, and memories and demanded change. The Parents Coalition, known as Heavens 27, after the 27 flood victims who were staying at Camp Mystic.
Among those campers was 8-year-old Beaumont native Mary Grace Baker. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato shares the emotional testimony from her father.
Mary Grace Baker stood in her school's church, surrounded by her classmates, her teachers, and her family. She was receiving the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Award, the highest honor at St. Anne's.
The pleas of heartbroken parents were heard as they remember the 27 Camp Mystic campers killed by the Hill Country flood. Beaumont native Mary Grace Baker was just one of the campers who died. Her father, Clark Baker, spoke on her behalf.
Just a few weeks later, we found ourselves in church once again with the same faces, the same classmates and teachers, not celebrating Mary Grace's award, but celebrating Mary Grace's far too brief life.
Parents of the victims are now calling the 27 who died Heaven's 27. They sat before the Senate Select Committee on Disaster Preparedness and Flooding in Austin, demanding change.
Camps, especially those in areas prone to flash floods, should have adequate warning systems and not build cabins in dangerous floodplains. Period. Surely don't put 8 and 9-year-olds in them.
Parents believe common sense was ignored.
I was ensured that her safety and the safety of all the young girls was paramount. I ask you, what could have been more important than that?
Clark says if nothing changes, this could happen again.
The last thing I want is for over 1,100 camps in Texas hosting kids next summer under the same microscope that led to the death of my daughter and 26 of her friends.
In total, the deadly flooding killed more than 130 people. Heaven's 27 hopes lawmakers will pass Senate Bill 1 ensuring Texas camp safety.
And meanwhile, over in the Texas House, lawmakers, they finally approved those new and controversial congressional voting maps. Democrats, they delayed this vote by 2 weeks after fleeing the state, but the Republican-controlled House, they were finally able to pass the measure yesterday. Those new maps, they were pushed by President Trump, and they're going to flip as many as 5 seats in Congress for Republicans. Democrats, they argue that this move is racial gerrymandering, but the bill's author, State Representative Todd Hunter, says that the proposed maps, they add more representation for black and brown Texans.
We looked at redistricting, and we created 5 new congressional seats. 4 are Hispanic majority. So what was the objective? The objective was to take all of those factors, use political performance, and see if we could increase political performance in the state of Texas.
The Democrats, however, they are not sold on that message.
You cannot split apart a bunch of brown and black Texans and pat yourself on the back because you left enough behind to try to avoid legal trouble. Texas voters deserve better than this.
And House Democrats, they have vowed to challenge these new voting maps in court. And we could see minor changes to the congressional district boundaries here in southeast Texas as District 14, held by Congressman Randy Weber, loses some of Brazoria County, and District 36, held by Republican Brian Babin, gains Angelina County.
Now to Newton County, where the sheriff's office has a new fancy drone. We told you about it earlier this week. Officials say it will help deputies during crucial responses, especially at night. Sheriff Colton Havard says he believes it'll be put to good use at the department.
Yeah, 12 News reporter Cameron Burchett, she got a first look at this new technology.
I'm here at the Newton County Sheriff's Office, where deputies say a new resource will give them an eye in the sky when they need it most.
I think it'll be money well spent.
The Newton County Sheriff's Office is introducing their latest addition to the department, a thermal drone.
That's going to be a force multiplier.
Sheriff Havard says it will help when searching for people who get lost, especially in the thick woods.
We have an influx of people come in during the winter months to deer hunt, the lake. A lot of people come up in the summer. A lot of people come up here and get turned around.
And during wildfires.
Also, it's going to be available to any governmental entity in the county. If we have wildfires like we did a couple of years ago, they can actually see where the fire's going, you know, which direction it's going with a drone.
Captain Jimmy Smith spent 3 months training to become certified to take flight with the drone, the first in the department's history.
It was very tedious. There was a lot of studying.
Captain Smith explained how the new drone could help during responses at night.
The thermal component will allow us to be able to pick up heat signatures with total darkness, with no light source available. So at an elevated altitude, you can see a lot more from the sky than you can from ground level.
While the drone hasn't been used yet, both say they're ready to deploy it when needed.
I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
We're looking forward to it and seeing what we can do with it.
Sheriff Havard also shares they are preparing to train more deputies to fly the drone in the future. In Newton County, Cameron Burchett, 12 News.
Up next, an invasive ant species creeps its way into Texas. Its painful sting has sent many to the hospital. And still ahead, a festival happening in Philly this weekend is celebrating the bald and the beautiful, while one rapper says they are one and the same.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue,
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers.
Taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
An invasive ant species with a sting that packs a punch is creeping into more U.S. states. And they're not just a nuisance, they're a health risk. ABC's Olivia Rubin explains.
Asian needle ants, originally from Asia, are spreading rapidly across the U.S. Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, including Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, and Tennessee, even reaching as far north as New York. They hide in the dark, leafy areas where they may be hard to spot. Unlike other ants, which tend to travel in groups, these creatures travel solo, so you may not even know one is there until you're stung. Their sting is intense. You'll feel sharp, burning pain some people compare to the sting of a wasp, and the pain can last hours. The USDA Forest Service warns residents in affected areas to carry an EpiPen, especially if you know you're allergic to insect venom. If stung, clean the area, apply a cold pack, and use hydrocortisone or an antihistamine. Wear long sleeves and tuck your pants into socks when working outdoors to avoid contact. If stung, seek immediate help for serious symptoms like breathing trouble or facial swelling. With this Medical Minute, I'm Olivia Rubin.
Our producer says back in June, ABC News reported the ants had made their way into Texas for the first time ever. Thankfully, according to Cron.com, sightings here are limited.
.44 now on this Thursday morning. Outside we have partly to mostly cloudy skies. Here's a look from our 12 News studio. Looks like I-10 right now is going along pretty smoothly. If you're heading out to work or maybe heading out to school. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. Dry for the most part out there. We do have a couple of showers we'll show you on radar in a second, but 75 right now for the lakes, 75 Jasper, Kirbyville, Silsbee, also all the way down to Orange, 74 in Beaumont, and 76 in Port Arthur. You can see the scattered cloud cover and a few spotty showers through parts of East Texas out ahead of this front. Front is dropping south, and we're going to see scattered showers and thunderstorms today along that front. So keep the umbrella handy. Right now, most of the activity looks like it's well down into the Gulf of Mexico. As we look at radar, pretty quiet except for this little cluster of showers and a little bit of a thunderstorm here. It looks like they've been dropping down towards the south and eventually pushing a little bit more towards the south and east. But a couple of lightning strikes, so you might hear a little bit of thunder right now, say just off towards the east of Call and Kirbyville. With some pretty heavy downpours, but this is the only rain we have right now. We are expecting that to pick up, though, later on this afternoon to about a 60% coverage as temperatures get up into the lower 90s today. Futurecast not doing a very good job today as far as showing the rain and the temperatures and things like that. So just be aware we're going to get in the lower 90s and we'll have about a 60% coverage of showers and thunderstorms. Here's Hurricane Erin. Right now winds are at 105, moving to the north-northeast at 17, so it's moving away from the east coast. Will quickly move out into the Atlantic, eventually end up into the northern Atlantic just as an area of low pressure. So no threat anymore towards the U.S., or at least moving away from the U.S. And then we have about a 70% chance of this disturbance here becoming our next storm. Looks like that one's going to follow the track of Erin, not going to be bothering anybody. And then we have another one out here, which is a 40% chance of developing. Right now, we'll have to wait and see. Another computer model's dragging this towards the U.S., so we'll keep an eye out there and keep you updated. 60% coverage of rain and thunderstorms today with temperatures there into the lower 90s. We back off into the lower 70s tonight, so it should feel fairly nice on Friday morning with partly cloudy skies. As we look at our 7-day forecast, still a chance for some rain on Friday at 40%, down to 20% on Saturday, and that's just going to be a random isolated shower. Look at the hot temperatures there over Sunday into Monday, 95, 96 with no rain in the forecast there. As we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, we see rain coverages return just a little bit.
Can't hardly believe it. Can't hardly believe it. A couple of days.
2 whole days.
I know. Buy a lottery ticket.
Might as well, huh?
All right. Thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can do that by you can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. All right, a festival that's happening this weekend in Philly celebrating the bald and the beautiful.
A Bald Fest, it's one and the same. ABC's Danny New has the story.
I'm hosting the first annual Bald Fest.
This Saturday in Philadelphia, a local rapper is hosting a festival to honor the community he joined only recently.
What's the tagline say there?
Oh, it says for the bald and the bald at heart.
It's a free music festival called Bald Fest, and over the past few weeks, Robert Capron here has been going viral for this idea. He initially was just planning for some friends at a skate park.
The bald community just needed a little love. They needed someone with their arms out.
Robert's journey to baldness culminated earlier in the year when he decided to just say enough and shave off his receding hairline. He says immediately he started making so many new friends.
I got abducted into the bald secret society in that day.
Under these circumstances, how could I play it fair?
Soon he decided to combine this newfound family with his hip-hop persona known as Abstract Love and launch this one-day musical celebration of what he calls bald culture. Special bald festivities include providing bald caps to the first 100 people who show up with hair, a barber on standby to shave people's heads, and a sunscreen station because, you know.
So many people reached out to me like, yo, we can't bake in the sun all day. We got our bald heads. You're going to kill us.
It is a festival to celebrate, quote, the bald life.
Now, in these last few days leading up to Bald Fest, Robert has been discussed on local radio stations like WHYY, and the Philadelphia Inquirer profiled him with the headline, "It's Very Real."
Come listen to some good music, support the culture.
And while, yes, this is great publicity for his music, Robert also wants to use this event to offer support to folks going through the same tough decision that he just had to make himself.
Shaving my hair bald has been like the best thing for me.
You know, a lot of people are going bald nowadays, though. It used to be a sign of age, I guess you'd say, but now a lot of people want to be bald.
Or maybe a sign that you have a real job and you just got to put up with the stress and the kids that go along with it as well.
Yeah.
I love a festival, so I'd be interested in going if it wasn't all the way up in Philadelphia.
Well, they'd give you that little hat, too, so because you're not bald.
I would be first in the door to get that, too.
Jeff was over there going like this, so maybe we need a Beaumont Bald Fest.
We do. All right, moving along here to checking this out. At 7:49, we brought you this story. A month ago, a South Carolina single mom, she went viral for running an entire Burger King all by herself.
Yeah, but now just a month later, Nikaya Hamilton says she's been fired, and it's over attendance issues that she says came from putting her kids first. The 25-year-old mom of 3 became an internet sensation in July after a TikTok showed her hustling from station to station at the Columbia fast food joint. She worked hard to keep hungry customers fed despite a major staffing shortage. She worked 12-hour shifts solo and even closed the store alone while trying to balance parenting.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there, and I hate to see that because she works so hard. I think it goes back to childcare and transportation there. But Burger King, they confirmed that she is no longer employed, citing repeated attendance issues. Fans have rallied through, though, helping raise over $81,000 to support her and her family. Clearly, some heroes wear aprons, and they deserve a break.
Here's the thing, she's a hard worker. You know, I don't know how bad her attendance was, but for her to do all of that, go viral for it, and you just let her go.
You can shows you that she has the potential if she's supported in the right way. And I don't know, I know Burger King and places like that don't pay a lot of money, but obviously people need childcare, they need transportation, and that's a lot to juggle, and we want people to work. So anyways.
Well, 12 News is working to clear the shelters, and today's pet needs your help.
Yeah, she is on the red list, so that means she needs to be adopted today. That's at Beaumont Animal Care, and be sure to meet Wilhelmina. She is 5 years old, and she needs to be adopted today. The shelter says that she hasn't adjusted well while she's been there, and she needs a calm, quiet environment to be able to really shine. She looks really cute, too. Good news is you can adopt her today for just $20. And be sure to join us for our big event this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Humane Society. There's going to be discounted adoptions, games, food, and more. We'll be broadcasting live, and you can meet some of our 12 News anchors and reporters as you pick out your new pets.
If you can't make Saturday, try to come out tomorrow during midday. Mark and I will be out there. So you get 2 days, but Saturday is the real big day, the big push.
I feel like I'm playing with a lot of puppies while I'm out there and having a great time. So yeah, tomorrow on the midday show, and of course Saturday's our big Clear the Shelter event.
I'll make sure to get some cute pictures of you. When Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus, we'll have more news and weather in your morning rush out.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
The impact killed my dad and brother instantly. A man, after drinking excessively with his coworkers, ran a stop sign, T-boned my parents' Honda, and destroyed our family. He could have just said, hey, I'm not okay. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's taxis. There's so many other options. Every day, someone else can be taken away.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with some hurricane tips for protecting yourself against flooding. Take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room and stay away from glass windows of doors. And if flooding begins, move to higher ground immediately. Never walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Remember, turn around don't drown. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy.
And welcome back to Daybreak. It is 7:55 right now, and it's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. A man and woman are still on the run after a chase through Beaumont yesterday. A deputy tried to stop them for driving erratically on I-10. Their car was later spotted crashed at a construction zone. Witnesses say the man dressed in black got out of the car with a gun. A woman in a black shirt and jeans was with him. Deputies tracked them to a neighborhood near Simpson Street and Blossom Drive. If you know who they are, call 911.
Beaumont police, they arrested these two men accused in a fraud scheme Tuesday. They allegedly told the victim that he had received a $50,000 refund by mistake, and they tricked him into returning that money. That victim was prepared to do just that. So the police, they set up surveillance at the victim's home. The suspects, they were arrested when they got there, both now facing felony theft charges.
There will be a proposal on the ballot in November for Port Arthur voters. Prop A would allow the city to use EDC money on city projects like recreation or community facilities, affordable housing, water facilities and programs, business enterprises, and a sports venue. No timeline or price is set yet.
Even though you walk out the door to maybe a little bit of sunshine this morning, grab that umbrella. There will be a good coverage of showers and thunderstorms, it looks like, late this afternoon into this evening. And then rain chances starting to go down. Friday, a couple of showers here and there. Saturday, isolated showers at best. And then Sunday, Monday, a dry forecast, but hot. We're in the middle 90s, and then more rain next week.
And a Southeast Texas 2-year-old needs your support. We told you about Alejandro from Lumberton already. He is in the running for the Hasbro Toddler of the Year award. He's in third place right now and in his group, and the competition ends tonight at 9 p.m. So we have a link on our website, 12newsnow.com, to go and vote for him so we can get that little local guy right there to be the #1 cutest in the country.
Yeah, you can just do it right there on your phone while you're watching TV too. So easy.
What a cutie. All right, thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
We'll be back here at midday. Tune in at 11 a.m.
Have a great day, everybody.